Good evening and thank you for joining us for Crimson News at 6. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone, I'm Whitney Ward. A North Idaho internet company is blocking Facebook and Twitter from its Wi-Fi service for some customers.
The company claims that Facebook and Twitter are censoring people, so it plans to in turn block its customers from accessing those sites. The move comes after the platforms banned President Trump following last week's deadly insurrection at the Capitol. Crim 2's Amanda Rowley shares what we know so far.
A North Idaho internet provider is giving its customers the option to block Facebook and Twitter due to censorship claims. Your T1 Wi-Fi provides internet services to North Idaho and the Spokane area. In a recent email to customers, Your T1 Wi-Fi says only customers who want to block Twitter or Facebook need to contact the company in order to request this. The move comes after Twitter and Facebook banned President Trump from their platforms. The companies say this is due to incitement of violence and undermining the transition of power to President-elect Joe Biden. Your T1 Wi-Fi wrote in an email it's been fielding calls from customers who do not want these sites allowed on their internet and do not want their children visiting these sites. It adds customers can do this themselves, but some lack the technical knowledge to do so. One customer was surprised by this email. Krista Yep insists this is a politically charged decision by the company.
If it's not illegal, it's highly unethical.
Yep lives in Spokane, but uses the Priest River, Idaho-based internet company's services for her family cabin.
You can just not go to those sites or use them. Because the whole point of going to the sites is if you have an account. So just don't have an account.
Although the company says it's a customer's choice for these sites to be blocked, this still does not sit well with Yep. She plans to cancel her service.
I don't want to pay almost $800 to a person or company or whatever that's this unhinged and this kind of down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories.
We've asked the company for comment and further clarification, but we've only been able to go off of emails sent to customers. While Your T1 Wi-Fi says they acted in response to censorship, the company's actions could also be considered censorship. They may also be violating Washington state's net neutrality law, which does not allow internet providers to manipulate access to content. A spokesperson for the Washington State Attorney General's office said the Consumer Protection Division was taking a look at the matter. Idaho does not have the same law. A representative for Idaho's Attorney General said their office lacks the original jurisdiction for any enforcement. The service provider says the change would go into effect on Wednesday. Amanda Rowley, Crim 2 News.
Governor Jay Inslee's new reopening plan for Washington state is now in effect. Every region in the state is currently in phase 1.
So to move on to phase 2, the region must meet the following 4 targets. 10% decreasing trend in case rates, 10% decrease in coronavirus hospital admission rates, ICU occupancy that is less than 90%, and test positivity rate that is less than 10%. Now in phase 1, indoor social gatherings are still prohibited. Indoor worship services, retail stores, and professional and personal services are limited to just 25% capacity. Indoor dining is still banned, and outdoor dining is limited to just 6 people per table or 2 households.
Looking at all of the counties in our region, the medical region that we are in will benefit Spokane likely more than it will benefit the smaller counties. But I do look forward to reaching out to the electeds in those small counties. The mayors in Spokane County have been meeting regularly during our response to COVID, but we need to branch that out now to include those other counties as well.
Now, if you do want to learn more about this new plan, just text the word reopen to 509-448-2000 and we'll send you a link with more information directly to your phone.
The Spokane Regional Health District is reporting 283 new coronavirus cases today. 11 new deaths have also been reported. 119 COVID-19 patients are currently in the hospital. In North Idaho, 363 new COVID-19 cases have been reported. The Panhandle Health District is reporting 5 new deaths since Saturday.
A surprising message today from the new sheriff of Kootenai County.
In a written statement, Robert Norris said he will not enforce certain health mandates. Our Casey Decker breaks down exactly what that means.
The sheriff's statement goes into some detail about why he won't enforce some mandates, but interestingly, nowhere does it specify exactly which mandates he's referring to. Still, we do have some idea. For instance, he said his office, quote, will never interfere with religious gatherings, and that its, quote, role in the community is not to count how many people are in your home or how a private business conducts itself. So that seems to mean his deputies won't cite or arrest anyone for violating restrictions on group sizes. It also seems unlikely then that he would have deputies enforce the region's mask mandate. Of course, there are other agencies in North Idaho that could still enforce those rules, like city police departments or state regulatory agencies. Norris is far from the first to make such an announcement. His predecessor, Ben Wolfinger, also said he wouldn't enforce mask use. And his counterparts in other North Idaho counties have made similar statements. What makes this statement surprising, however, the given reasons for Norris's decision. Whereas other sheriffs have typically said they simply don't want to focus manpower and resources on this issue, Norris cited his own opinions on the constitutionality of health mandates and the actual nature of COVID. He argued the restrictions go against state and national constitutions, this despite not being a judge authorized to make such rulings. And he downplayed the danger of COVID, despite not being a health expert. The Panhandle Health District told us they did not wish to comment on his statement. Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
All right, as we turn our attention to weather now, another week of wet weather seems to be ahead of us. Tom Sherry is joining us now to let us know if it's going to be rain or snow.
Mostly rain and strong winds. Let's get right to this. Everywhere you see shaded in gold right here, which includes the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, that is a high wind watch that's in effect tomorrow through Wednesday evening. The highest winds will be Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. Could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Now remember, a watch means keep an eye out for it. When we upgrade it to a warning, that means it's imminent. We're pretty confident, 100% confident that's going to happen. We've also got a winter storm warning in effect through tomorrow afternoon for the Okanagan Highlands as well as into the Cascade Mountain Range. We're at 36 degrees, the calm before the storm, so to speak. We've got winds only out of the east now at about 5 miles per hour. And the Doppler radar doesn't look overly impressive, but it is going to be a soaker as we get into Tuesday and especially into Wednesday. We'll look for an overnight low of 36 degrees. The average high this time of year is 34. So we're not even going to see our overnight low we're going to be above our normal daytime high for the overnight low. And then tomorrow, another very mild day, gusty winds up to about 30 miles per hour and a high of 43. For the weekend, dry on Saturday, chance of maybe a little bit of rain and snow on Sunday. We'll look for mostly cloudy skies and a high of 38. I'll check the rest of your 10-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
We'll talk to you then, Tom. Thank you very much. Still ahead tonight, lawmakers return to Olympia just a few days after that riot at the nation's capital. Today, protesters were met with National Guard members in Olympia. We get an update from the Washington State Capitol when we come back.